Check 2.
Oh, yeah. It's the Even Steven Believin'.
Don't stop, even Steven.
It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show.
And Oddly Mark
That's
odding.
me. How you doing, buddy?
Oddly Mark odding and potting. Odding and potting on the potty.
Yes, because we have potty mouths.
Potty with D's in them. Podcast.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Was our week, 4? Going into week 4 of Sober October?
That's true, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. Sober-ish
Sober-ish.
on my part.
Well, yeah.
For me, the booze is the main thing. I had to cut the booze out. Replaced it with a few things, some cannabis sativa, some cannabis indica. But these things are not as harmful for me health-wise, so I don't mind making those exceptions.
They're therapeutic and medicinal.
Correct. Especially this week, I'm going through this whole business with my hand.
Yeah. What's up with your hand? I saw on Facebook.
It doesn't look that bad to see it. But yeah, I put on the Facebook my little procedure. So I've been dealing with this condition for years, probably 5-6 years now. It's real slowly progressed to where I can't open this hand all the way. So tissues are kind of formed to keep it from opening up all the way underneath the skin. And what they did was they took 6 points, needles, big, large needles, scary needles, and jammed them in there. And that whatever they put in there is supposed to kind of freeze up this tissue that's been causing my problems. And then tomorrow I have to go in, and they're just going to take it. And I think he's probably going to do one of these, just crack it open, or he might go more gently. I don't know.
So let this be a lesson to you, kids.
Pop it back in place.
Let this be a lesson to you.
Here's the lesson. Let's hear it.
The lesson is this. In masturbation, you got to switch off. You can't use the same hand all the time.
That's the problem. That's from over and over again, trying to do the stranger.
Yeah, because it's your left hand. You're right. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
it's not good. All things in moderation, they say.
All things in moderation, yes. So how's your week, man?
Pretty good.
Aside from that, you know.
I mean, this was a little bit of a setback, but it's also a relief that I'm getting it done because it's been so long. It took me years to get my shit together and get on a health insurance plan, which, you know, in the state of the nation, that's like hitting the lottery or like whatever. Now I feel like I'm bougie. I'm part of the 1% because I have coverage to go to the fucking doctor for something that I need. And then the first appointment that I had with my primary care doctor for this situation was October of last year.
Oh.
And that was to get the referral. And then 6 more months went by, and I finally got to see the guy just to have a chat with him so he could say, oh, yeah, that looks like what you said it is. And I was like, yep, I told you.
Yeah.
And then 6 more months go by, and finally here we are. So the rest of my week has been pretty fun. I've been getting pretty creative. I've been really getting into the writing side of things a little bit more in the TV and film world. I'm really enjoying what we have going on here. We added a camera over here today. We're going to add another one on our next episode. So I'm kind of excited about that, kind of building up the little studio production we have going on here. And also doing some writing for future projects for like scripted works.
Some writing?
Some. I really have been helped. I've been like, I don't want to give too much away or anything, but like I'm writing a story. I'm writing a screenplay. I've never attempted to do this before, but so far I'm enjoying the hell out of it, figuring out how I'm going to plot this whole story. It's based on true events, and in my mind, I've been on a tropical island in the year 1909 for like the last 5 days.
It's really good. I read three pages, the first 3 pages of the script, and I didn't want to put it down. But we had to do this podcast. We get to do the podcast. I don't mean to say that.
I'm with you.
I want to do it, but I didn't want to put the script down. So hopefully,
appreciate that.
hopefully,
I mean, that's like pretty far off that anyone publicly will really get to kind of see the results of that. But the fact is, I'm kind of exercising a part of my brain that I haven't in years. Just the creative writing thing, and it's been good. It's been a nice kind of distraction while I really can't do much else until this whole health thing is taken care of and all that.
Yeah, just some writing.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool.
That's awesome.
What about you, man?
I bought a cajon.
You bought a cajon?
A cajon. I was going to buy a drum set, and I was like, I'm going to buy a cajon. Like, I don't play drums, but I want to do some stuff.
The cajon for you might be a little more on the practical side, too, because, I mean, you can have that handy on any of your gigs and just, like, ask a friend to jump in and
for
hook
those
it up.
of you who don't speak Espanol, cajon is one nut. That's one ball.
Well, not, you know.
Thank you, John Huber, for that joke. My friend was like, "What's a
But in
cajon? Is
case
that one
someone
nut?"
doesn't know,
Yes.
so this is basically, it's the wooden box, right?
It's a wooden box, and it's got like a bass hit and a snare hit. And I've been playing with that all.
Did you get one of the ones with actual snares in, like, under?
It has guitar strings. Like
Okay.
It has like strings in
But
it. So I
that just
guess
adds
kinda,
to give it like a whap when you hit that area, that part of
it's
it.
the
So
basic.
that's pretty cool. So you can provide like a rhythm section to someone playing acoustically, and it sounds good.
Exactly.
That's pretty
Exactly.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I might have to beat on that thing one of these nights. Come over to Mount Royal.
You should. You should get. Yeah. That'd be cool. We've jammed a little bit together, once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Not much, not as much as you'd think. But being that we do a podcast together, we're both musicians.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, no, this is our thing. We do this.
Yeah.
This is our
And
thing.
when
We do.
Sober October is over, and I decide to moderately dip my toe back in the waters as far as consuming alcoholic beverages. Maybe that first week in November, I'll be waiting for them to open the door because I'll be so excited to be there that day to join you at the Mount Royal.
Be one of them guys. Have you ever worked in the bar business or a restaurant? You've ever worked in a bar and a restaurant?
I mean, peripherally.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like actually, like there are people that are there at 11 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Customers.
like waiting for you to open the door, for you to
Yeah.
unlock the door to come in and partake in the libations.
I believe it.
It's it's.
I mean, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. These are people who work the night shift.
work overnight. Yes, I was
All
just
of
about
them.
I was just about
None
to
of
say-
them. None of them are horribly sad, depressed alcoholics.
No, and I was just about to say that. I used to work overnights. I used to work third shift. So
Okay.
I was one of the ones that would go.
There you
was,
have it.
There was a bar that opened up at 6 a.m. and I would go there. I'd get there about 6:30. My shift ended at 6. And
One that we know of, like local.
yeah, well, it was the Hideaway in Clementon,
Oh, I'm not familiar. Okay.
and then it was I would go to a place called the Warwick Tavern.
Oh, the Wick.
The Wick, yes, the Wick, for across the street from
Amy and
Sterling
I used
High
to.
School.
Amy and I used to live on Warwick Road.
Yes.
Briefly.
yes. So that opens at 7. So
Does it?
sometimes I just they have excellent
do.
breakfast.
Also,
Yes, they have
there's
really
a
good
similar
breakfast.
place over here in Woodbury, the
What's it called?
Southwood.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the Southwood. Yeah.
Now they just recently changed owners, and they're getting a little more respectable now.
Oh boo! I'm just kidding.
They have like regular hours, and
They took out the pool
dinner
tables.
the dinner menu, and but I remember that was the same thing. They would have like a good greasy breakfast sandwich on hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
breakfast sandwich and beer. at
I
7
heard.
a.m.
I heard.
Yeah.
I've never.
When you worked a night shift, right?
It was when I worked the night shift.
I went to a soccer game today.
Football.
Football, yes, as they call it in every other country except.
Who was performing?
So there was actually both of my fiancée, both of her children had her son and her daughter both had games today, and
You're in Stepdadville, eh?
I'm in Stepdadville. Yeah, it was.
Nothing wrong with
love
that.
it. I love it.
That's awesome.
Great kids. I never had my own kids, but it's probably for the best. My kids would have been awful. I know this because I'm awful, and but her kids are great. They're great. So they both had a game today.
Mm-hmm.
One was at Sterling High School.
Oh yeah.
Her son, Ethan, he had a soccer game at Sterling because he's in high school, and the girl, Cammie, she had one at Yellen. So we decided to go to the Sterling High School one, my alma mater. It's good to be back at my alma mater, and nobody went to Cammie's.
Oh shit.
And it happens, but they both play defense, right? Mm. And of course, she scored a goal. Like, you don't score a goal in defense, but everybody missed that. That's impressive. And we always, but yeah. So anyway, congratulations, Cammie. Sorry.
Yeah, she'll be able to tell you that story, and you'll be able.
But if a tree falls in the middle of the forest, it still makes noise. And congratulations, and sorry we missed it. But it was cool. I got this,
I hope that comes up every Thanksgiving from now on.
Oh, it will. Like she called her because her dad was at the game.
Okay.
At Yellen, or no, she at Sterling where I was. So nobody was at her game. Like it was it just so happened that everybody picked. You have to make a choice sometimes. And everybody, her grandparents, everybody was at the wrong game today. Not the wrong game, but the game where.
Chose the wrong
kid. No, I felt so bad. I was like, you got to be kidding me, because they both play defense, so it's very rare that, But anyway, I don't know anything about soccer. Do you?
I do.
Did you play?
I'm real familiar. Yeah, I played soccer and baseball for most of my childhood.
Okay, all right, cool. Are you good?
Good enough to keep going.
That's cool. Was it? Was that a big part of your?
It was. Baseball was my first love. Still is. I'd rather watch the Phillies lose 162 games than watch football or hockey at all. I enjoy all the sports when the teams are doing well. I'm total fair weather except for baseball. Yeah. But then soccer and baseball both right around kindergarten is when you can sign up, and I played both sports. So soccer in the fall, baseball in the summer, until about the middle of high school, until I smoked my first joint.
It was all down.
Quite clearly, there was a line drawn. I was a goalie.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe you can go in as my stand-in, because I literally have no idea. There's no scoreboard. There's no time. I don't know how any of it works. I have no idea. I don't know what a yellow card is.
Yeah, but are you a hockey fan?
So I like hockey, but I literally like hockey for the fights and for the aggression.
I got you.
And
because the rules are very similar.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Hockey was invented as like an answer to soccer,
right?
For people in cold climates, so they combine their outdoors skating thing with the basic principles of soccer in the first place. But that's it. It is a tough one as a spectator. Even I find it. It's tough. You're watching, really soccer, because just the nature of it is all about just like your conditioning. How long? How many times can you sprint down the field in 90 minutes and then not have anything happen at the end of it? It's I could see how that would be. It's tougher to watch. But.
It's cool, but I just never know what's going on. There's no I need a scoreboard. Even with hockey, even with baseball, and I love baseball. I need a scoreboard.
At least at a baseball game, they do. They kind of give you all the stats as they're going along.
Yeah,
you're in it. Yeah, or even high school football tells you what quarter it is and how much time's left. I guess soccer, they don't really.
There's nothing.
They don't really afford you that at that level, huh?
No, not at all. There's
no. Oh man.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I still enjoy watching it, and it's cool. I'm getting it a little bit.
Yeah. But you got your offsides and your yellow cards and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can give me a tutorial one day.
I'll let you know about
that. I'll come over.
Yeah.
Just write it down on a piece of paper.
I was teaching Amy how to keep score in baseball not too long ago, or at least showing her how it works.
Okay.
Because, it's a whole art form just keeping score of a game.
Oh, yeah.
In baseball. They have, custom score sheets, and that's how you keep track. And there's a code, basically, for every play that happens. You use this little code of shortcuts to put in a little box, and it's supposed to tell you everything that happened in the play. Are you familiar?
Yeah. I got stuck doing that a couple years ago.
Did you?
And I messed it all up to the point where
It's
somebody
easy to
had
screw
like,
up if you miss one thing and don't like connect the dots or like
Like a parent came into the booth and they were like, oh, would you have that? I'm like, and
if
they had
you're
to
not
take
in
over,
it,
like
if
I
you're
was
not
bad.
on a team or or involved in a league of some sort right now, like it's definitely a lost art. It's something you forget that anyone even does.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it though.
So the baseball and the soccer were my things. I enjoyed them. I really did.
I love baseball. I'm still learning soccer. I don't know. It looks fun though,
It's fun to play. It is fun to play.
I trip over my feet. I got 2 left feet. I am no Pele, I'll tell you right now. But anyway.
Give me 1 second, Mark, real quick.
All right.
How much of the TV are you picking up? Amy? Was it in your headphones? I didn't notice it. Okay. We'll be all right.
I forgot. I didn't even notice.
We're still rolling? It's always that one thing. There's always one little detail that I'm like, when you think you have it all down. But
you forgot to hook up the doll.
What was the...
Did you get it? You got the reference?
Yeah. We had a little bit of Law and Order going on through that first segment, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm a big Ice-T fan.
Me too. Body count.
I was going to ask you if that was on your radar when you were young, when he was first coming up.
Yeah, actually, Body Count was a huge reason why I started listening to some hip hop, because I was strictly like metal and rock
and roll, yeah.
And Body Count.
And he was like one of the first crossover guys, yeah.
Like between
not everyone knew about him either.
No.
But for like the metal band.
Yeah, no, I knew about him through. Yeah, that's where that was like kind of like my gateway. Between that, the Aerosmith, Run DMC, Anthrax, and Public Enemy, and then Onyx and Biohazard. They were like the first.
I remember all those.
Yeah, and it kind of like bridged me into hip hop, and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually pretty awesome.
I kind of backed into it the other way though. I was listening to pop music, literally like Boyz II Men and Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, right? And then I got handed a couple of hip hop albums. Maybe one was left at a party or left at my house, something like that. I had like LL Cool J's Radio, and then there was an album, Bigger and Deffer.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Bigger and Deffer, yeah.
And then I got Ice-T. So before I really fell in love with rock music, before Pearl Jam and all that kind of stuff, I was still kind of in that pop world, but it lent itself to some hip hop. And Ice-T's album at the time was the New Jack Hustlers. It was the soundtrack for New Jack City. Yeah. And correct me if I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Body Count was not a full band yet. Body Count was a track he included by that title on the New Jack Hustlers album, and that was kind of teasing people into what this other project was. But I'm pretty sure Body Count was on a hip-hop album.
It's absolutely possible.
And then he wound up doing whole records with them. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of how I remember it.
Yeah, that band is actually like Ice-T had no plans on doing any kind of rock music at that point or whatever, but his Ernie C, the guitar player, was his friend in high school.
Really?
And he wanted to give him
kind of help him because now he had his exposure through.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And that's how that kind of
awesome.
started. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What a crazy career that guy's had.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
and now he's
actually selling drugs. Los Angeles, cocaine dealer.
Yeah.
Gets his break with the hip hop. Does Body Count, and now look at him. Yeah, he's what does he play on that show?
He plays a detective.
He's a detective.
Not Munns.
Yeah, that reminds me of.
What?
Did you ever see the movie Hustle and Flow.
Remind me.
Howard is Terrence Howard, the guy from Empire, is like he's a pimp,
Right.
and he recruits a buddy of his to come over and produce this hip hop record. It's a good movie. It's more recent.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
remember
maybe
the title.
10 years old as opposed to 30, like we're
Yeah.
talking about. But at the end of that movie, he's locked up, but his song that he finally got published is on the radio. And the prison guards stop him, and they're like, "Yo, you that dude that fucking put that record out?" He's like, "Check it out. Here's our demo tape." And it's these two prison guards that are kissing his ass because he's hot on the radio right now. And he's like, "See, we do it from both sides of the law."
No, I gotta check it out. But yeah, it's funny. Like
That's Ice-T. He's full circle.
And I mean, I remember you remember the big controversy with Cop Killer. You know, and Dan Quill, you're singing a song about killing police, and that is wrong. Which, I mean, you shouldn't
Well,
kill anybody,
the issue comes up every decade. There's that, there's an artist that comes out and has this has a controversial song, and it raises the free speech versus hate speech. And 2 Live Crew was around a little bit before Ice-T went through his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Who Bong Hits for Jesus got to open for 2 Live Crew.
Oh.
Yeah, that was interesting. Minus Luke. Luke's a priest now in Florida, but the rest of the crew still goes out and tours. But then you had 2 Live Crew, and then you had Ice-T. And then what came later after that? After that, you started getting into 70s. You had the Ozzy Osbourne, Satan, and satanic.
That was the 80s, 1984 with the PMRC and the Dee Snider and Frank Zappa and
Dee
Bob,
Snider
or John Denver.
Testifying in front of Congress, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. But what's really wild is how that all used to happen every so often when conservatives were, the main regime, and now it's like it's the far left that are calling people out for stuff that they're saying, and it's bananas. We don't have to get into all that.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't like far anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, let me float in the middle. You know what I mean? Let me float in the middle. And
where most of us are. Where most of us live. just moving forward.
Yeah, just kind of, yeah. But, I mean, you'd think by the way they portray, like everybody's far.
Yeah.
But it's really not true. Most people are just...
They're fringe. They just have loud voices.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Just because you're louder doesn't make you right. That's what
but we do. We got to vote. And that's happening. I don't know have you mailed your ballot in yet?
I did. I did.
So we're gonna be dropping ours off this week, and it's important to vote. I've always felt like it's important, not just every 4 years. I don't think that much changes whoever wins the presidency. I really don't. Maybe some minor things happen in the Supreme Court, but they usually go back and forth with whoever's in office.
It's more the local government.
The local stuff and the state stuff is, and that a lot of people neglect to remember is every year you get a ballot. Every year you can go in November and vote, and it's something's happening in your town every year.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's more important and more significant and more of a reason to be enthusiastic about casting your ballot than anything else, because that's going to affect whether the road outside your house gets fixed, the taxes for your little local school system, and things that affect our daily lives really happen on that lower level. So that's why I'm excited.
And don't forget to turn your ballot over.
Turn that ballot over if you're a resident of New Jersey.
And you, unless you're against marijuana legalization, then just fill out the top.
Unless you're an idiot and you don't like weed.
Then just don't flip over the ballot.
Then just leave it alone.
Yeah. No.
Backside of the ballot in New Jersey this year features the cannabis, recreational cannabis, and making it legal, and we're going to answer yes on that one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have the right to think whatever you want, and that's fine, and just vote.
Right.
But I think. Yeah.
Oh boy, it's just.
At this point.
Come on already.
At this point, there's more pressing issues.
Well, states make an awful lot of money now. Especially in the tri-state area here in the Northeast. I don't know. You might be listening from somewhere else, but gambling has been legalized in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Indiana, all in the last 5 years or so. To the point where I can bet on the color of a dude's socks when he comes out of the out of the bench, off the bench, in the middle of a game on my phone. And that's making a lot of money for our state's economies. So if that's okay, and we've been taxing the hell out of alcohol for 100 years, I think just, shut up and take the dividends when we legalize this shit and regulate it,
So.
Also, you can't tell what's in the bag when you buy it from the guy down the street or in your dorm.
Yeah, you might be
You don't
buying
know
bunk.
what you're getting. It could be bunk. You try it up the street. This shit could be fucking bunk.
It could be.
But
I see what you did.
with regulation and legalization, I know that right on the label it tells me that this particular brand of cannabis is going to make me a little peppy. It's going to make me feel energetic. Or this one's going to treat my nausea. This one's going to make me sleepy by. This one doesn't going to get me high at all, but it's going to make my bruised in my arm feel better.
Yeah.
Knowing all this stuff because it's regulated is a big plus to me.
True story.
I look forward to, and hopefully people go ahead and turn that ballot over.
Yes.
I remember I once lost a job over voting.
How so?
It was 2008 when we were about to vote when President Obama ran for his first term.
McCain.
McCain was his opponent at the time.
Yeah.
So I had worked for the same company from about 2005 up until 2008, the end of 2008 there. And I had started to kind of lose interest in the job over the course of that year. Maybe, I started kind of just my heart wasn't in it as much as it was when I started there. So I had some call-outs. I had some marks on my record. They were like, look, man, you really got to step it up. Let's start clocking in on time. Let's get you back on track. And I was like, all right. And then November 3rd or whatever election day was that year, I called at 9 in the morning. I'm like, I can't make it to work today. I got to go vote. They're like, what are you talking about? We're all going to go vote when we get done work or on your lunch break. You go vote. It's not a reason to call out of work for the entire day.
The lines are really long in my district.
And in my mind, I was like, well, it should be a reason to call it. It should be a national holiday. I'm not coming in today. And I got the phone call that evening, and they were like, we're going to have to let you go, buddy.
I
didn't care.
You might have just used that as an excuse, but I actually agree with that. I think,
For real.
I mean, why not? There's a couple, days that we could probably.
There are some holidays we could give back.
Yeah, like trade in. But we only need one. We only need one to try. I could think of one that
could
do without.
It could also lead to a lot less confusion, a lot less people that get left out or excluded because they can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole mail-in thing is a kind of I guess it's like a little bit of an experiment in how we're going to handle things. And hopefully it goes smoother than they're saying it will.
Well, I mean, it wasn't going smooth before. It's never been smooth, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Don't you remember hanging chads and, I can, it's always something. I demand a recount. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, it's not confusing. Hopefully, it's just cut and dry, and everybody accepts
gracefully.
Accepts everything gracefully, and everything. Okay, fine, that's good.
When we were growing up, our
congratulations.
parents used to talk to other parents and adults after an election, and they would say, "So, what's going on this weekend?" And that was the result was the result, and that's the end of it. And they're like, "All right, we got a new guy. There's a new guy, and we're gonna do what we were gonna do anyway."
I just got this feeling that it's not going to be that smooth.
I do, yeah. But here's hoping,
Yeah.
and I think the important part is that people participate in it. Right?
Yeah, vote or die.
So we have a segment that we started last week. So we're gonna jump into that. We're gonna do we have two items. Let's take 1 minute and reset a little bit, and then we'll come back and get to those.
Okay.
Cool. So you had an idea of what might be a fun little topic of discussion.
Yes. I don't know how fun it'll be. I don't know. Well,
It's worth a try, though.
It's worth a try. Yeah.
We're both music guys.
Yeah.
Everyone out there has listened or heard music before.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it's in movies. It's everywhere now. I mean,
Most
it's really
people.
catching on. It's really
Most people that aren't disabled in some way have heard music before.
right. Right. Exactly. But you're a goofball. No, so this is my idea. This is how I thought in my brain here. This is what I was thinking, that growing up we had albums. Like nowadays it's more like everything's the single and everything comes out as a single.
Right.
But we had albums, be it records or CDs or cassette tapes or 8-tracks for us old folks. I'm taking it back.
I'm with you. I hear you.
So, these albums were a complete work of art, from beginning to end. You didn't listen to a song, you listened to the whole
Right.
the whole
When you
album.
start, when you put the needle down on the record or you hit play on your cassette tape, you were going on a journey for an hour with that artist. It was something you immersed yourself in.
Right. And most of the time,
At least that's how they were.
that's how it was
written
supposed to,
for you
it's
to-
supposed to be designed for you to
Mhm.
listen to as one piece of art. Now, most of the time, sadly, especially, with certain genres of music, you'd have like 3 or 4 good songs and then like 6 crap songs. But there was some albums that were just amazing.
Yeah.
Whether you thought so at the time or you still think so, but on those albums, there's, even though it's a perfect album, they have to rank.
Mm-hmm.
So my idea was we should, instead of saying, "Oh, what's your favorite song from this album?" What's your least favorite song from your favorite album? So there's a 2-part thing. Now you got to decide, your album that that you think is a 10 from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And also, and you have to pick your
What's my least favorite
your least
one?
favorite song.
What's the one that I would fast forward if I...
Right. Should I see if I had an album out, I would make it interesting and make you do like a bong hit song or a bong hits album, but I don't have any because that's
we can't.
that's really hard. But it's not equal playing ground because I don't have any
Fair enough.
any original music out. But that's a tough one because it's like they're your babies.
Choosing your baby. Yeah,
Right,
choosing your
exactly.
baby. Which baby are you
Which baby will
sacrificing?
die?
Well,
But
I can go first. I think so what do I'm going to settle on one, or can I give you a few examples?
You can give me a few examples. Yeah, I mean we can. It's a discussion point. It's not like a.
Well, so one of the albums that I just wore out from the time I was probably 4 years old was Thriller, Michael Jackson, and a lot of people had a copy of that.
Definitely a perfect album.
Really, yeah. Except when you got right before the last song, you could just end it. Because the last song on the album...
Shoot. Hold on, I gotta bring it. It's like the only one that wasn't released as a single, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Go ahead, tell me what it is. I'm not gonna bother with that.
It's called The Girl Is Mine.
The Girl Is
No,
Mine.
no. Lady in My Life. Lady in My Life is the last song on the Thriller album, and it should have been on a Barry Manilow album. It had no business being on this amazing record that was full of like innovation and like this whole new vibe, and it was like dancey but still rocking. Quincy Jones, it's like, and then so it's like, you Thriller obviously, Billie Jean, Beat It, PYT, Human Nature even is like a little mellower, but like
great song.
Fucking it slays, and then you do have an early ballad on the record, with Paul McCartney. That's The Girl Is Mine.
Yeah, that's The Girl Is Mine.
She's mine.
Yeah.
Decent song, cool matchup between Paul and Michael. You get to the last track on the album, and you will always be the lady. Now I still know the song,
Right? Yeah.
but 9 times out of 10, the album ends the song before it,
Like
and I move on.
That's how the song goes. But you're hearing this is filler, filler.
Yep, 100%.
I gotcha. Okay, all right, that's a good one. No, you're right. I was thinking that last song. I couldn't. I forgot it. It's forgettable. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a decent song.
Then you got
like that song would be a hit on anybody else's record. You know what I mean? But
right, but when you're surrounded by the most successful Billboard entries of all time on the same record, it's like, what is this doing here? Come on. Anyway.
All right, that's good. All right, okay, that's your first example.
I got a couple more.
All right. You want to go back and forth, or do you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
All
What
right.
are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with an album that I wore out and probably still wear out. Really, to be honest with you, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if you missed a boat on them because of your like.
Was aware, but wasn't really. I
Right.
didn't give myself to it.
We
Yeah.
talk about this too. Like the 1 year that
Yeah.
we are apart, like really makes a difference.
For sure.
Just
For
because
sure,
of
because
the age that we were.
That,
when
was the year that like
Yeah.
metal kind of started to take its downturn, leading
Yeah.
into grunge, and that's the stuff that I kind of like woke up.
1992 is like the
Yep, that
yeah.
turning point.
But 1987, when like I was a kid, like that.
I remember hearing like older kids raving
Yeah.
about it. Like Guns N' Roses was definitely on my radar,
Yeah,
but it wasn't anything Grandma was going to let me go buy at Sam Goody.
I gotcha. But like, but there's one song on that album called "Think About You." Now you're not really familiar with the album, so. But this song is such a filler, and it's just, side two. And it's just like, it's just out of nowhere. And then it's like right before Rocket Queen, which is like the best two songs that Guns N' Roses.
Oh, wow.
It's like two songs in one, I feel like. And
Okay.
It's like probably my favorite song on the album. It's an amazing song. But this song, Think About You, is just so like, the whole album is like about like darkness, and it's like this like love song.
Oh,
It's
so
like-
it's like a love metal song.
Yeah, it's like I think about you, honey. I do.
Get out, really?
Like it's really, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's really not, yeah. And I
Should
mean,
have saved it for the November Rain for
No,
Use Your
no.
Illusion or something.
even that album, it would
Still had a lot of rocking in it. Yeah,
it just
yeah.
wouldn't have fit. Like I don't understand. Like I don't know why they. I don't know. But yeah, that's. I mean, it's not a ballad. Like it has an
Okay.
upbeat tempo, but
Right.
it's like a love song. It's like a
Yeah.
real, it's like very poppy and just very like.
Could have done without it. Didn't
Yeah.
really fit the theme
There's 12 songs on the album. They could have went
of these
11.
monsters of mayhem and,
Yeah.
and like and balls
you had
and
Mr.
just,
Brownstone,
yeah.
My
Oh,
Michelle.
yeah.
Paradise City, It's So Easy. Welcome
And
to
you're
the
rattling
friggin'
these off,
jungle.
and so
And
I've
you're like,
heard
yeah.
more of this album than I probably. I didn't realize all those were on that.
Yeah, they're
same
all
album.
on one album. That's
That's why it was so successful, huh?
yeah, it was just yeah. But anyway, so that was all right. So go on. What else
Well,
you
we
got?
both discussed Pearl Jam.
We did.
10 is definitely up there. Ranks on one hand my favorite albums of
Absolutely.
all
As-
time.
yeah.
What are you thinking? What's the weak spot in that one?
Okay. So
Now this is one that I know the track listing by
yes,
heart.
Yes. I kind of have two answers for that
Mhm.
because I have my least favorite that I don't know. It's not because of overexposure, but it could be because it's on the
Maybe.
radio all the time. But I actually never really liked this song. 'cause
Never
it was
really
the second
connected with it.
single. The first single was Alive, and the second single was Even Flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never really
Didn't hook you.
I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of messy. Now, but I can't really
I
call
can
it
see.
that. What's that?
I mean, I can see how you would receive it that way. A little messy, not quite as
Yeah, it's
not quite as sharp as Alive or some of the other songs on the album.
like
not quite
messy.
as tight.
but it's messy in the wrong kind of ways. I feel
I'm with
like.
you.
But anyway, I'm not going to use that one because it was such a hit and it's still one of their most popular songs. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the most forgettable.
Sorry.
That's
Do our Adam Sandler version of Eddie.
But I think the most forgettable song on that album, I think, would be Deep.
Into deep.
Yeah, it's not a bad song.
Use the
forgettable.
slide. You got stone guitar on a
No, no,
slide.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm with you. Okay, so and deep appears somewhere around like track 8 or 9. I want to say, right?
I think it's Deep, Ocean.
Oh no, deep is like 5 then. Oceans is 6, for sure.
Oh,
I
it's-
know that for sure.
Yeah, it's down at the end of the album. It's down. It's definitely down at the end of.
You got Garden, one of my favorite songs. A real fun guitar riff to work on if you ever just want something to noodle on.
Okay, cool.
Cool like finger. I love
Okay, cool.
Garden. Porch
Oh, dude.
is
It's probably, I think
Bong
that's-
Hits for Jesus covered Porch.
Who the fuck is this? Oh, come on, little baby.
And
I
the
love that song.
and the MTV Unplugged lent itself to make me like it even more.
Yeah.
And then as it turns out, like every live show that they do like a 10 or 12-minute version of that song, and it's just like they just go on a journey. It's great.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with you, or it's either going to be Deep or maybe Oceans. Now, Oceans is the one where it's probably necessary to have on the album because it's the one track that deviates from a whole traditional drum set. He uses like a timpani, never breaks into a full regular drum beat.
Right.
This Dave Cruzen was the
Cruising,
drummer.
Yeah.
So it kind of breaks up stylistically, so you're not listening to the same exact formula for the arrangements from song to song, and it happens right in the middle of the record. But still just not one of my favorites. I don't know. It's one or the other, though. Now, I heard a version of Oceans with a full drum kit. They actually had an alternate version that they had to choose between right before they published the record.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
then in that version, you know, he gets through the first verse, and then when the one you're familiar with would break into that timpani part, he again, you know.
I just love the vocal on that song.
Oh,
I love
yeah?
the vocal on it. Yeah. Yeah.
You like that falsetto?
Yeah, I like
At least
the falsetto,
on that
but-
song.
Yeah, I like the falsetto, but I just like the vocal on the way he sings the verses and the melody,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's so like it gives you the feels, you know what I
Okay.
mean? It gives me the feels. That's
Yeah, you
why,
could
know.
tell it was from it was soulful.
Yes, very much so. I'm not texting, by the way. I'm looking up
Doing a
this-
little research over there.
yeah, because my next one I have to. I so can't remember the name of the song. That is where I'm at. So, but
What did you have in mind?
so the album I'm going with is the Sublime self-titled album.
Okay, let's hear it. Which one gets the?
There is one, and I can't remember the name of it. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually a couple
April something 1992.
No, I like that song.
That
a
one's
lot.
a good one.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of non-radio songs.
Yes, it's not a radio song. There's actually 3 on this album. So I'm trying to
Ooh.
pick. Yeah, I know you're gonna get.
No. Everyone assumes because my band happened to do the show with Sublime and that's a genre that I'm like
Connected to.
near.
Yeah.
With my original music.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes that I'm going to have my feelings hurt if you say anything badly about Sublime, but I mean, I'm more likely to get offended if you trash a Pearl Jam or a Michael Jackson or one of the ones that I was really married, fell in love with when I was younger. Sublime, I respect the fact that, I openly can admit that there's definitely some stuff that we could throw away. The thing about that band is that, in my opinion, their best work came before they got the national attention. Their first couple of albums, Robin the Hood and 40 Ounces to Freedom, are far superior works of art.
Robin the Hood is one of those, because it's not really a full album.
Sure it is.
I mean,
There's
it
like
is.
15 tracks on it.
Yeah, but there's a lot
The 3 of them.
filler.
But I like that, though.
Me too, but I mean, it's more of an EP. If you take the actual
I guess.
songs.
Maybe.
But I mean, I love it.
But
I love
it's
it.
still 45 minutes or so, and
Yeah.
it's a journey that I would take. Friends of mine would go. It was our high school jam, junior year of high school. I would get a ride. They would pick me up on Friday mornings, and we would get high, and that was that tape was on repeat, man, for a whole school year, and it was just like, I don't know. There wasn't a part of that I wanted to fast forward,
Right.
but the full major label studio record that happened after he died, the one you're talking about.
I remember the
There's
song I
probably
was
a
thinking
few-
of.
What is
yeah.
it? Which one?
Under My Voodoo.
Under My Voodoo? I
Yeah,
don't
I
see.
remember. Yeah. Well,
I'm like, what?
My favorite Sublime song is on Robin the Hood, though.
Which one?
STP.
STP. Oh, that I need. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you on
I
that.
love that song. I don't know why. It's all over the place, and it's messy, but messy in all the good ways and all the right ways. I feel like,
This will be a fun one that if anybody's listening, maybe give us your 2 cents on it on the Facebook page
Yeah.
or on our YouTube page. By the way, please subscribe to the YouTube page and share it with your friends.
But all right, so what do we got?
Skateboards.
Skateboards. Okay, so when I was a kid,
Yeah.
my my brothers used to babysit friends of mine. That were
Did you have this on deck? You had zero hesitation.
No, zero. No, well, I've been trying to like. I've been doing like no, I did not have this on deck.
The drawer of the catalog was open already.
No, I
seems
just
like.
no. I just didn't want all the dead air, and I know.
I'm good. I'm with you.
And I know that there's a time limit right now, so that's important.
You were a kid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I was a kid, my brothers, my 2 older brothers, I have 6 older brothers, but the 2 that are older next to me, babysat for friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were kids my age. And it was Christmas, and she got my brothers skateboards for Christmas. It was like a gift, and I did not get a skateboard.
You did not. You didn't make the cut.
I did. I got a cool like game based on the Centurions. Remember the Centurions?
Mm-mm.
It was like it was a cartoon that was popular at that time. I might not have been the Centurions actually.
Was it He-Man?
No, it wasn't He-Man, but it was. But it was something similar to that, like medieval. Anyway, so they got skateboards. I did not get a skateboard, but I used to use theirs, and it was like the fat body skateboard.
Okay.
Remember the fat body ones?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no end to the story. It just
What
they
did
got
the
skateboards.
But did you ever get one?
I never got a skateboard, no, and it's probably for the best. I got a pogo stick though, and that was like my favorite thing ever.
Did you hurt yourself on that one?
I did not hurt myself on a pogo stick, but
Okay.
But I would have hurt myself on a skateboard.
I got a Kmart like
Kmart special?
cheap skateboard when I was probably 11 or 12, 10 or 11, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I skinned my knees badly. I got hurt a lot. So I was vacationing with my family. My grandfather was a Marine buddy with another family in New York State, and like once or twice a year we would go spend a weekend up there, and they lived up in the mountains. And they had this real long, steep driveway going up the mountain to their house, like on the mountainside. And they left me outside to entertain myself when they went in. And yup.
Yeah.
You know where this is going.
Oh yeah.
I took that ride. I got daredevil. I got a little daredevil in me and went down this fucking driveway, dude. And I'm telling you that, I might be remembering it like a fishtail, but it was 40 yards or something. Like, it was this long driveway. By the time I got to the middle, I had picked up some momentum.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Got to the bottom, flew off of the skateboard, and, like, slid across the gravel street like I was on a slip and slide, dude. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad.
It was like Clark Griswold on the sled.
It was so bad. It was really, there was that much momentum. Like I felt like it was.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, that's a lot of road rash, dude.
That was rough, man.
That
was rough. I got a little shy about the skateboard after that.
Yeah, I believe it. The only other time I was ever on a skateboard in my life was when I lived in San Diego.
Okay.
And I was outside of the Applebee's that I worked at the time, and my friend Levi and his friend Jared, I think his name was Jared, they had a skate. They were skateboarders.
That was like their thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, we'll show you how to do it. It's easy. And I tried and I fell off and I got hurt and I scraped up my elbow. And
good.
Yeah, that was, I was drunk too, so maybe
no
that
bueno.
was probably not a good time to learn.
Yeah, no, that's not when you want to get started.
No, but also if I was sober, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Like it's, that's isn't that a bitch? You know what I mean?
Keep going. So you have one?
What's that?
So you got one for me?
Oh, I do. Oh, do I ever? I have one, and I just came up with this. Today, in the midst of our conversation. So ready?
Yep.
Story time. Kamikaze. Elijah Wood. Go.
Oh, you bastard. Come on.
Nope. Go.
Elijah Wood is a very successful Hollywood movie star. He's been in some of the public's favorite films. He's America's sweetheart. Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's think of what other amazing blockbuster films he was a part of. Yeah, you brought this up because you're a dickhead. And I get the ongoing thing between my friends that have known me my whole life. They know that if they just have to say Elijah Wood to bust my balls because I was a child actor and I got some momentum, 10, 11 years old, 9, 10, 11 years old, somewhere in there. I got like a TV commercial. I was the host of a kids variety show that aired in Philadelphia locally. I got a part in Jennifer 8, which you have no problem reminding me of.
It was a good movie.
No, it was good. It was good. After Jennifer 8, I really started getting like high-profile auditions for jobs that I was going to potentially be the lead in like major Hollywood pictures. And every time I seemed to get close to like a breakout career-making role, Elijah Wood got it. Every time. Forever Young with Mel Gibson, the time capsule movie.
Great movie.
I had callbacks for that. Elijah won the part. The Mighty Ducks. I don't know if Elijah wasn't in that. He wasn't in that one, but that was another one that I got callbacks for and didn't make the cut. The worst was The Good Son. The Good Son was a movie after Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin took a role as a villain, and Elijah played opposite him as the good son.
Yeah.
And that was one where I got all the way to the final round of auditions. It was either going to be Elijah Wood or me, and maybe one other kid out of hundreds that go and get the call. And when he got that one, I had pretty much had enough of my grandmom taking me out of school and driving me to New York day after day.
Yeah.
That was the heartbreaker. But I'll tell you what, I don't have a major coke problem. I was not molested by the Hollywood cabal of pedophiles. And I do still have some good stories to tell about my time
Yes.
in the industry.
I did not bring that up because I I'm not a jerk.
No, I know.
I just, first of all, it's an interesting story. It's
interesting.
And I felt good that you told me that story. Like I'm in the circle of trust of your friends.
Sure.
That I can,
Now you can bust my balls.
I
about
wasn't
it.
breaking your balls. I wasn't breaking your balls.
Even my friends know that it's not something. I'm not like walking around bitter and angry about it. It just so happened to be part of like my story. It was just it was how things went when I was younger, and I don't live with a whole lot of regrets in the first place.
That's Frodo, right?
Frodo, yeah, I believe so.
I never saw any of the Lord of the Rings.
No, I don't think I sat through all of them either. I remember when I was in school, I do remember reading The Hobbit,
Right.
which I think is like the preface to the three.
I think so.
The three movies that they put out, but yeah, man, Elijah Wood does some cool work though. You know what I do appreciate is he, for every one of his major studio releases, he does a lot of independent films that if you look his IMDb up, pick one of those at random. He did a series, what the hell was the name of the series? Whoa, began with a W. He was he played a character who's had like an imaginary friend who was a dog. It was this dude in a dog suit, and like you couldn't Wilfred.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah.
He picks cool shit to do, so I do. Yeah. I respect his work and all that, but what could have been?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you got great stories.
I appreciate it.
Come out with great stories about it, and you're writing screenplays now.
I might have Elijah read for one of my roles and then turn him down at the last audition.
No ill feelings at all. No. Elijah, if you're watching,
I think what really happened, looking back, is that as an unknown, I think what happens a lot, the casting and production, they use an unknown guy to bring the price down on a name. So I think they might have had me coming back and back and back so that Elijah's agent would be like, oh, we don't want to give the role to this kid who will do it for scale.
Right.
So we'll come down a little bit so he still gets the part. I think that happens more often than we realize. But
Well, you can think that, but I'm going to think it's just because you were that good.
they didn't want me to upstage Macaulay Culkin.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show.